Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Sorry, I started at 5:10 instead of 5. The neighbors' kids were over, and one of them, I overheard one of them telling Bentley something like, "If you don't let me have the belt to this wrestler, I'm never coming back to play." And of course, I had to insert myself, and I was like, "That's okay then don't, but you ain't going to threaten my baby. I'm sorry, but no, that's not how we treat our friends. We don't threaten people like that." Oh, he got big time mad, and I guess told Bentley he was going to tell his mama on me. I was like, "I'll call and tell her myself." So I called her and let her know exactly what happened. And that is why it took me. I was a few minutes late, but thank you guys for being here, and happy Memorial Day. Hey, K-Braze. Hey, Brody Gal. Hey, Melissa Jade. I know. That's how I was feeling. Hey, Nadie. Hey, Pointer Lover. Hey, Mrs. M. Let's see. Oh, Eddie. Thank you. Thank you so much, Eddie. That's really sweet. Hey, Alibi, Unravel, Wondering Sub. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Shay Benet. Wolfie the Acid Bath Wolf. Hey, Wolfie. Hearsay, Music City Mom, Pepper, Summer, Leonard, Amber, Jujubee, PJ, JD Wells, Jan, Yorkie, Teresa, Liz, TF, Margot. So many awesome people in here. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Mama Chase, Punksy. I'm excited to talk to you guys about some of this. I've actually was chatting with Amber about some of it too. ATS since her documentary, and let me drop her link. If you guys haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It was very good, and it brought back a lot of things that I'd kind of forgotten about back to the front of my brain. So yeah, okay, but we're going to talk about some things that the Papa Rodger stuff, and I seriously question if it's Bryan. I had forgotten about something that we had uncovered on my channel before. We're going to go back through all of that. We're going to take a look back at the posts from Papa Rodger, all of that stuff. But before we get into that, there is a little bit of a new update. So remember, Bryan Kohberger's parents were going to testify at the grand jury. One had already done it. One was getting ready to. And it was supposedly in reference to this missing woman, Dana Smithers. Dana Smithers' sister, we know that she had the Facebook group, and she had said in there, and we talked about this a few days ago if you guys missed it, she had said, she had gotten some tips, and she did ask the FBI or the police to look into it. But listen, there's more. So let me show you what she said now. The sister of Dana Smithers, a 45-year-old woman who was found dead in a woodland area of Monroe County, Pennsylvania in April, has spoken out about rumors that her death was linked to Bryan Kohberger, the suspect accused in the University of Idaho murders case. Coburger is accused of breaking into an off-campus rental home in Moscow, Idaho, and in the early morning hours of November 13th, where he took the lives of Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. He was recently indicted by a grand jury on the 4 counts of first-degree murder and felony burglary. After Coburger was charged, various media reports connected him to Smithers, who had been missing since May 2022. The region of Pennsylvania where her body was found is the same where Coburger was arrested in December, and where his parents live. However, local law enforcement has already denied any connection. In remarks given to News Nation, Smithers' sister, Stacy, said a grand jury had also looked into a possible connection, but had since disregarded it. So hold on, let me just check on you guys. Hey, Dee. Okay, Unravel, in my email, or how way I can get it. I'll go grab my phone and if it's for this topic and send it over so we can look at it together. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Rich. Thank you guys for being here. Happy Memorial Day. And anybody who served that's in the chat, thank you for your service. And, you know, anybody whose family served, my grandfather, he retired from the Army. He was in World War II. He's buried in the National Cemetery. Yeah. I hope you guys are having a great day too. Hey, Amber Lou here. Car at the gas station is not an Elantra. Thank you. Yeah, I think I didn't make the girl too happy who made that I stitched her video, because yeah, that's fine. It is what it is. It wasn't anything personal. It's just my opinion. But hey, Margot. Although I had to take a mental health break from me. I already said hi to you, though. But hello again. And I was just reading your comment and said hello. Truth hurts. Yeah, she wasn't happy. Hey, Kelly. Okay, let me keep reading though. This is kind of interesting. So, Bryan Coburger, okay, that's just a caption on the picture. Bryan Enton, a senior correspondent at News Nation, wrote on Twitter on Thursday that Stacy Smithers had said, quote, she learned even before Kohberger's arrest that an investigative grand jury in Pennsylvania was meeting and looking into her sister's case before he was ever arrested. Now, there's two reasons why a grand jury will convene. I didn't know this until recently. So they will obviously convene to indict someone, like we just saw with Lori Vallow. Sorry, I had to adjust my little beanbag chair. But they will convene to indict someone. But they also convene strictly for investigative purposes. They, you know, not to charge anyone. They're just trying to look at evidence, basically. And that is what they were doing in this case. So that's why it says an investigative grand jury is meeting and looking into her case. So sometimes they'll meet with a specific purpose of bringing charges against a specific individual. This is not what was happening in this instance. He continued, after Coburger was arrested, she says the grand jury began looking into whether Coburger could be connected to her sister's disappearance. She says it became clear he was not connected, and there was evidence he was not in the area where her sister was last seen. Enton also noted that Stacy was hopeful people would continue to show an interest in her sister's case. Meanwhile, Kohberger's father was reportedly scheduled to testify before a Monroe County grand jury on Thursday as part of a sealed proceeding, CNN reported. Citing sources close to the investigation, Kohberger's mother reportedly previously testified. The report did not mention Smithers. So here's the tweet directly. More on the investigative grand jury situation. We talked to Dana Smithers' sister. We still don't know exactly why his parents were called to testify in her case. So, Jennifer Coffindaffer, a retired FBI agent who is not involved in the cases, previously suggested to Newsweek that the parents' testimony was likely to provide alibis as part of a wider bid to eliminate suspects from the investigation. In a statement on Thursday, the Stroud Area Police Department wrote on its Facebook page that there was no evidence that, her disappearance is tied to Bryan in any way. I think that's the end of this. Okay. His trial date will likely be delayed. I hope not, but I don't see him waiving his right to a speedy trial. So, hey, Angie. You need to see why the name exists. It threw me off a little bit at first, I got to admit. Hey, Ray. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of this Papa Rodger stuff. So, Papa Rodgers is an account that was in this Facebook group. There's a mega group that's like 200,000 people. that became very popular with this case. And, the family members are in it. There was an account in there by the name of Papa Rodgers who was very active. And many people thought that could be Bryan. The account wasn't active anymore after he was arrested. I don't have my phone, Wolfie, but I will grab it in a second. But yeah, he didn't have, he wasn't active in the group anymore and things like that. I don't know that I'm convinced it's him, and I'm going to show you why, and we're going to look at some of the things he posted, not only because he wasn't actually accurate with everything, but I completely forgot. Do you guys remember Justin, the guy that came forward that knew Dylan, that, was talking about Dylan being trans, or claimed that he knew Dylan, knew the police, all that stuff, right? He was interviewed. I want to show you something about him, because there's a Twitter account who claims to have tied him to the Papa Rodgers account. If his last name is accurate, they've linked IP numbers. I'm going to show you everything. But first, I wanted to show you this. So this is just the upcoming schedule for this case, a post from Jennifer Coffindaffer and a really pretty picture. But so June 9th, we have the gag order hearing, as well as the decision regarding the use of cameras in the courtroom. June 27th, we have the discovery or hearing on the discovery or motion to compel production of evidence. Then October, the trial. She predicts the gag order will remain in place, but issue will be elevated to a higher court. Cameras, live streaming, and televised proceedings won't be allowed. Trial won't take place in October. Look for continuance after continuance for 2 to 4 years if Bryan doesn't plea. Just predictions, we shall see. So I have to say, I'm nowhere near as educated as she is in this kind of stuff. So just let's get that straight. But I completely disagree. They can't push off his hearing for 2 to 4 years if he doesn't waive his right to a speedy trial. They can't do that. So then what? And his lawyer specifically asked for a date in October, and his 6 months date from the date he was indicted would fall into November. So they don't have a ton of time, a ton of wiggle room. Let me show you guys this picture, and then I'm going to come check the comments before we get into the Papa Rodgers stuff. Look how pretty. I love that. I don't know. I'm wondering how she did it, like with one of those Tune Me or what. Gag order is so messed up. Makes me feel like gagging. I know, Rich. It's Hey, Day Tripper. Dateline reported Papa Rodger as BK, but I don't remember ever hearing that was confirmed. Day Tripper, I know that a lot of people really love Dateline and their reporting. They've done some awesome work, and I'm not saying they haven't at all. However, I've seen major failures with the mainstream media with this case and other cases that have blown up like this. Especially in the beginning. It's just the facts about it. When a case is breaking and gets so much attention so quickly, there's going to be a lot of misinformation. And after I show you what I'm about to show you, it's going to make your head spin about if Dateline was right on that, because mine is. And, I don't know. I just don't know. I think she's right about the camera in court, but not sure about the rest of it. I agree. I don't think this judge is going to change his mind. If it's anything like with Dylan with Lori Vallow, we've seen that. I think Idaho is taking that part of this very serious as far as media and somebody being tried by the media. I go back and forth on BK being Papa Rodger. I think he is that arrogant to do something like that. But then again, I think it may be that Justin guy. So let me show you what. I don't think it was Bryan. I don't either, you guys. Woofy, what do you think? I'm really curious what you think. Wait, you said yes. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Justin, case closed. Well, see, never mind. I see your comments. I was going backwards. The defense can only hold it up, not the prosecution, right? And will they? And if the defense, because I don't know the details on this, I would love somebody who knows this. Let's say he doesn't waive his right to a speedy trial, but the defense asks for more time. Even once. One time they asked for a few more weeks for this or for that or whatever. At that point, is that almost the same as waiving his right? to a fair trial or a fair trial. No, not that. A speedy trial. Hey, JC. Good to see you. And happy Memorial Day. I just don't see how anyone can put up a good defense in that time frame, especially with multiple states having evidence to review. Callie, I can't believe they asked. Like, it's kind of interesting that they requested that, because I don't know. It's like they're almost like, I'm ready, or you, or I can be ready. Maybe I'm not ready now, but can you? Almost like a challenge of sorts, or, I don't know. I completely agree, Allie. Dateline is not right all of the time. Let's see. Violation of the speedy trial rule means that any conviction and sentence must be wiped out and the charges must be dismissed if the case has not reached trial. I'm not convinced it is, BK. All right, let me go ahead and grab this. I'm trying to get through the rest of the comments on here. Just want to see. Hey, Candace. Hey, V. Oakley. Both sides can ask for more time. I know. I don't know where Jen's at. I talked to her a little bit ago, but okay. It's at his detriment. My brain really stalled on that word for a second. Okay. Now, here is this account that actually, here's my video on it from a while back. That's what I did. I did go back to check this Twitter account, C Dizzy with 3 Ds, and it's still there. So,
okay, guys. So I don't know. This Justin guy who's came out with all this information about Dylan. Is it possible that he's Papa Rodger?
His last name is Justin William Popworth Rodriguez. I mean, what are the chances of that? Popworth Rodriguez? And I'm curious about how long his name. I wish that there was a way that we could see if he's always used the same name on there. But
look at his last name. And there are people on Twitter claiming that their IP addresses match. So this account on Twitter, Chef Dizzy, imagine that. But they have claimed to 100% have confirmed that this is Papa Rodgers. And
okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually pull that up on Twitter just because at C Dizzy. Okay. So he's on, he's been talking a lot about Justin. Here he shares a picture of Justin when he was at a Pete Buttigieg. What did he end up being? I think he ran for president, but he ended up being the Department of Transportation Secretary or something in Biden's cabinet. But so there he is meeting Pete Buttigieg. This account has really been on to Justin, like I said. Here he says, ask and you shall receive. Here is definitive proof Canna is Papa Rodger. As you see, he didn't mask his IP addresses in metadata of photos. Hi, Papa. So I should write this account and be like, can you show us exactly, because look, he does have an image here where it shows the same IP account, Justin, the IP 192.240.106, and then we see it over here, and he says that this is under one of Justin's photos. I'm assuming this one on the screen, and Papa Rodger's photo. So with the last name, and if this is true, I mean, I'm sure if we knew somebody who could do this off of his Facebook photos, we could double check it. Anonymous follow. Yes. Hey, juror. You're not too late today. We only been here about 20 minutes. We did go over like a little statement from the woman's sister who was missing the grand jury situation, but that was it. Oh, Creme Curious, good to see you. So I love Pete. You know who I really liked? What was that guy's name? Andrew Yang. I really liked him. Like he was, I don't know. I just thought he would be a unique and different, choice. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. Hey, Patricia. There's no such thing as coincidence. I find this really, really interesting. When he was having his surgery, he was using it. Let's see. Margot, I know exactly how you feel, says, I just feel guilty spending money on myself. My kids, I'll spend money on them and buy myself secondhand clothes and shoes and stuff. It's a me thing. I hear that from so many moms. I really do. And I'm the same way. Like in the store, you might put something that you were going to get for yourself back so you can get a little something extra for the kids or whatever. But remember, you got to always take care of yourself too. So you can take care of them. Hey, Ginger. With him standing silent and asking for a trial so early, I am wondering if he is the one insisting on these things instead of his lawyer thinking he knows best. I thought the same thing, Alibi, and I think so. I really do. I think that because at the end of the day, it's up to him. It's his choice. Now, she can give him advice, but, she seems to be experienced. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but unless they waive the right and ask for a continuance. But can they ask for a continuance without waiving the right? That's my kind of, like, that's what I want to know. Hey, Rena. Hey, Mystic. Good to see you guys. I fell asleep listening to you last night. Crime Curious, looking at computers online. Hey, Sandy, Colorado. I'm with you. I want anybody but the saint, but the people we've had already. I want somebody new. Hey, Karen. Hey, Deb in PA. Mr. O. I do the same. Kids and Mrs. O before me for 30 years, just the way it has been. Aw, that is so sweet. We do, Margot. We have a great crew. It's you guys, I swear to you, I'm not just saying this. I know for a fact I have the best chat on YouTube. It's just so many awesome people in here. Okay, so back to his Twitter. I think he has a couple more little things on here, and then we're going to look at what Papa Rodgers posted. So he says, hey, true crime community, today is the day. No, today is going to be the Canna Knitter, which is Justin Thread Day. We will share what we know and what others have shared throughout the day. We already know Justin Popworth Rodriguez is confirmed Papa Rodger. And then he shares the IP. Then he says, now for a bunch of screenshots of poor Canna Critter crying to Source Daddy because he is shunned and reversing on his BS lies from the last couple days. So here he says, I was wrong about Dylan. Look, Kara and Corey have flipped. My news source has provided verification about Fry's arrest. The chief of police, who he accused of killing this girl. I was wrong about Dylan being at the house. Dylan and Bethany were never there, just as I originally thought, because the timeline given for them makes zero damn sense. Banfield audio is faked, just like we all thought. No, you need to stop sticking your nose into an open, active investigation and going on YouTube channel. I mean, I'm sorry, when you see all this, it's not a hard jump to think that's who Papa Rodgers is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was BK, but I'm more likely to believe there was also that account on Reddit. Remember, the inside looking, and then there was the outside looking. It's just a mess. Confirmed the landlords are involved. What? Like, are you kidding me, dude? Seriously? Bryan dropped Fry off at the house. This is why there's so many rumors. There are people, I cannot. Bryan dropped Fry off at the house. They didn't take kidneys. They took hearts. There is far more to the drug pipeline than I told another YouTuber about, that where he went and spread all of these stories. Did she really think I would show my entire hand? Especially when I'm rapidly getting new intel from Moscow residents? Bro, disgusting. Call me crazy all you want. I have plenty of docs to blah, blah, blah. Okay. And that's about a narcotics ring in Moscow. Here he says he's been parading around the date 2/22/23 because this account tweeted a week ago as important. What was to be released tomorrow was that Justin Canna is Papa, but we were forced to release it early due to his antics. So anyways, all right. I think that's about as far as we're going to go here with this, because we're going to go search on Facebook and see what we can pull up with Papa Rodger. I did grab one article that has some of the stuff. Let me just go ahead and get that article, and we'll flip over to that. And then we're going to go on Facebook and look. I mean, I want to keep in mind that it potentially could be Bryan. I don't think that it is. I'm really curious what you guys think. The old King Tut. Is this that Justin guy? Yes, that was him. Those tweets that I was reading. Rich. Yeah. Okay. So is Papa Rodger's Bryan Coburger? Ex-FBI agent believes so Jennifer Coffindaffer, and she has said that from the beginning, that she thinks that it's him, and yeah, that's fine, but okay. It is interesting that the picture turned out to somewhat kind of look like him. My brain is just not wanting to use words today. Okay. A specific rumor is making rounds on several social media platforms that Bryan Kohberger was in online discussion groups. Moreover, it has been said that he was participating in these discussions and provided several credible tips. In one of the social media posts, he allegedly went as far as to explain that the murder weapon was a sharp knife and that the police already had the knife sheath. However, it turned out to be the exact information. The discussion harnessed some attention, and an ex-FBI investigator also believes that Coburger was a part of these discussions. Interesting info, Allie. I've not heard before. BK may not be Papa Rodgers, but I think he's the killer. I agree, TF. I think he is too. Papa Rodger's pick was so similar to BK. If it wasn't him, then maybe whoever it was knew he did it. And the knife sheath. I know, Paula, but this is the thing. There were some things he got wrong. We're gonna find as many of his little posts that we can. But I remember, and I hope we can find this one. There is a diagram or a little drawing that he put out that showed where the victims were, and it wasn't accurate. I think there were a few other things too, if I remember correctly, because we did a video going through all of his stuff back in the beginning. But okay, Jennifer Coffindaffer has actively been giving input on this case. She believes that the PhD student was under two aliases, Papa Rodgers on Facebook and Inside Looking on Reddit. These two accounts have posted and commented on numerous posts with information that is strikingly accurate to that of the recent affidavit that was released. She tweeted, "I've followed these comments with intrigue. This comment was of particular interest after the release of the PCA. The comments just seem to hit home. Many people in these Reddit and Facebook groups became instantly suspicious hours after Bryan was taken into custody." So Jennifer Coffindaffer shared one of these comments on Twitter, and on this one, Papa Rodger said on November 30th, "Of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. The evidence was released prior to autopsies." Now, I don't think that Woofy and I talked about this before we knew for sure. And she guessed that it was a fixed blade hunting knife or that they left the sheath because they were looking for that K-bar knife, because we heard almost instantly they were looking for a K-bar knife. So your brain, it's not a far jump to go, how do they know? Why are they looking for a particular weapon? Did they find the sheath? That seems like a pretty natural reaction, in my opinion, to that. I'm so happy you guys are here and we're going through all of this. I know it's a holiday, but me too, but I'm open to new evidence. Sandy, Colorado. I went to a wedding this weekend. It was a mile past where Letitia dumped. Oh my God. All of a sudden I realized we were on the S curve. Oh, Sandy. Man. Yeah, you knew of the sheath. Exactly. See, you're in my brain. Remember, I told you. I had not seen your comments yet when I said that, but yes, you did. Because it's a pretty simple jump, you know. I'm just like that, crime curious. I love to hear like opposing views and opinions, and it's not super hard to change my mind. I'm open to listening. Hey, Delaney. Oh my gosh. I don't think so. If you go back just like maybe 10 minutes, you'll see that they uncovered another account. Actually, a guy who did an interview with a YouTuber you're probably familiar with, and people believe that he is Papa Rodgers. Hey, Connor. Do you speak Hindi? No, I do not, Shaban. If it was Bryan with hopes of throwing off the investigators, that was an epic fail. Yeah, for sure, because that made people pay attention to him. The sheath is going to be very hard to explain why it was found in their house if he wasn't there. I agree, Margot. I completely agree. It's a far jump for my brain. Really? Because, I didn't think of it, but at the time Wolfie did. She was like, they had to have found the sheath because, and I asked her, could it be from the wounds? That's how they know it's a fixed blade knife. Like maybe the handle left marks or something like that. Because almost immediately we heard that they were looking for a K-bar. Hey, Tiff. Good to see you. No rest for the afflicted. If you guys have not been over in Crime Curious, her study groups, go check them out. They're really good. Let me drop her link right here. But she goes, so in depth. You may think that you know everything about that case, the Gannon Stout case. I kind of felt like the same way for a while. I learned from being friends with her. No. There are many things that I didn't know about. So maybe the knife was stolen from his car. I suppose that's possible. But what about his cell phone and going by the house so many times and being turned off that night and that kind of stuff? Yeah, Wolfie, it knows knives, so I thought of it too specific. Not from the wounds to know the brand. That's true. You're right. You make a good point. That's true, Tiff. The sheath may not even match the knife for all we know. Is it possible that he used a knife sheath that went with the K-bar knife, but a different knife? Hey, Tisha. Good to see you. Okay. Sheath may be planted. Okay, let's keep looking. We're going to look at the rest. Jennifer Coffindaffer says, he drove his own car, carried his phone, and didn't clip in his sheath tight enough. So I do believe he could leave a digital trail. He was a hot mess. Intelligence with no common sense equals a criminal bound to be caught. Is Papa Rodgers Bryan Coburger? So this article was before Dateline basically confirmed it, which I don't know how they can do that. But that's part of why we're doing this live, just so to make us all think, because I don't know. So one user pointed out, I took screenshots of everything Papa Rodger posted. This is one of the creepiest. Papa posted the question as to why the killer chose that house. This commenter listed potential reasons, and Papa simply responded with, excellent. I guess Bryan's reason is within that different commenter's post. If Papa was just a random guy, I feel his response would have been different than excellent. Of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. And that's the one we just looked at. Let's keep going. Okay. Then we have, he says, oh, that's the one that they were just talking about. Why did the killer choose that house over all the others in the area? And then you see Joseph comments and says, here's some reasons why he would choose that house. It's full of girls, full of specific girls. It's a party house. The location, dark wooded covering in the back, the distance from his own house, and the third floor windows. Papa Rodgers wrote back to that, excellent answer. That is, that's a good point, but still, it's not convincing me. There's his comment about the fixed blade knife. Now, this user pointed out, if Papa Rodger is Bryan, this particular post he made becomes more interesting. Nobody commented nor liked the post, including myself when it was made. He may be providing a clue to the other 2 unsolved murders in Oregon and Washington that also happened on the 13th of the month. And what he said was, the date of killing was chosen on purpose? ? Thoughts? ? I mean, I think a lot of people wondered that, right? That's something that's often talked about when we hear about these crimes. What date it happened on? Does it have any specific meaning? Or, my knees. Y'all hear my knees pop as I bent down. I'm on this computer with looking at the TV, and it's I'm having to move all around. Oh, Jen Lou's here. Hey, Bendy. Did yes, Papa Rodger did stop commenting when he was taken into custody. That he did. Hey, Tiffany. If he was using BTK as a blueprint, he probably had many potential victims. Well, I mean, we've heard from mainstream media that he was messaging with someone in the house. Can we believe mainstream media, though? And we also heard that he was following them on Instagram. But if he was, after he was arrested, I've told you guys this before, but in case you hadn't heard it, after he was arrested, like immediately, within like minutes of the news breaking, I did a live. And if you go back to that live on Instagram with you guys with the screen share, I searched for Bryan Coburger and did not. Now, we found like 3 accounts that had been created. They had just been created. They had no followers, following nobody. But we didn't find any old ones. Now, they came out and said that his account was crim.coburger. And of course, that's not one that we looked at. So I don't know. It's possible that that could be true, but I don't know. I do know that people saw those fake accounts following Maddie and Kaylee and started a lot of rumors that accounts with his name were following them. That language certainly sounds like something a teacher would say. Excellent. Who says that? That's a good point, Brian Paula. I agree. Okay. That's okay, Shivan. We'll make it work. I needed a break from YouTube. Hey, I think it's awesome that you realize it when you do it and you take it for yourself. That's a good thing. Half Indian, half pretzel. I honestly feel like the timestamps are not quite as accurate as we think, but will not take long for a person to unalive the victims if they were sleeping, drunk, or passed out. I've wondered for a long time how he could, after already being involved in altercation with upstairs, how he would have been able to take Ethan like that. But I guess if he was drinking or half asleep or something like that, that would make sense. Here's that inside looking account. Now, I think this one could be him. I've went through all of these as well. Oh, Christine G actually found like a website that saves, because all these posts are gone now, but they are archived somewhere. So speculation: killer parked behind the house, approached property through the tree line, entered sliding door and left it open, committed murders and exited sliding door. One knife, according to coroner's statement. Time of murder, approximately 3:20 to 3:40, according to car fleeing. That's wrong. Now they're talking about, if you've seen my little video yesterday, I don't believe that the car on the gas station cameras is him either. And I think we can prove that based on the fact the tail lights are different. There are no fog lights, and the back window is slightly different as well. And we know that at 4:17, I believe it is when the camera picks up the loud thud. So, okay. Now we're going to go to Facebook and search Papa Rodger. Should I do it in the Idaho Murders group or just in general? Because it was in the group, but they have We'll do it in the group first. Hey, Meg. Good to see you. Question about the people who make fake accounts. Is Bryan following them? Who has the time to be such an asshole? Elizabeth, I don't know. It's bizarre to me. I mean, what do you get out of it? Some Instagram followers? And I don't know. It's just weird. Why can't they get a voice expert? I don't know if Papa Rodgers actually ever used his voice, but there were a couple of places that people called in where people wondered if it was him. I don't think it's the car either. Did Woofy, what do you think about the car? I know you don't think it was either. I just want to hear your thoughts. Your mods are bomb. They always make me feel so very welcome, and your chat is explosive. Happy blessed Memorial Day, y'all, and thank you to those who have served our sweet country. Oh, Tiffany, thank you. And I have the best mods and the best chat. I appreciate you guys. Meg, I know. It has been a while. It had to be BK, I think. I thought there was a subreddit. I don't know, but look here. I think I found some of them. Anyways, this is in the group. So this post he made December 20th, 2022 at 10:46 p.m. A knife is a very risky weapon. If you know you are going to murder 4 people, do we think the killer also had another weapon, such as a stun gun or another knife? Or did they not know what they would encounter? Now, if it comes out in the trial that he had a stun gun or something, I'm going to be floored. But I mean, to me, this doesn't look like a post from the killer. What do you guys think? The way the car went past the house, then tried to turn in the driveway, and then a 3-point turn, and finally behind the house makes me think he didn't know exactly where he was going. That's an interesting point. I kind of just took it as he was nervous and like looking for a place to park, but I don't know. Oh, yes, it is, Tiffany. I appreciate you guys. It's not an Elantra, and the time was off, and camera footage puts nowhere by that gas station. Oh, Mind of Monsters, I love you being here too. I watched your quick little video earlier of you on the beach. Which on Myrtle Beach, it looked really nice. I just heard something about the beach, the people not being able to swim there maybe yesterday or the day before because the wind and the water was so rough. You think it is him, Eddie? Interesting. I do think that Papa was BK. Linda, did you miss the beginning where that Twitter, if not the beginning of the live, like 30 minutes ago maybe, where the Twitter user did the IP search with Papa Rodgers and that Justin kid with his last name is Popworth Rodriguez? Because that might change your mind. Maybe not. Maybe you've already seen it. But hey, Kid Kitty. Riddler, thank you for being here. Okay. I know, Meg, I cannot wait for the trial. It's going to be really interesting to hear and learn. Like, think of everything we learned with Letitia, Here he says, what do we think is the entrance point to the crime scene? December 8th. Why was a knife the weapon of choice? Another comment he made. Thoughts on this body placement. Now, here is where he was off. So you have second floor, Ethan in the living room, and Xana over by where the blood was coming out of the house. Excuse me. I mean, do you remember for a while we had even people saying it wasn't blood, it was home heating oil, which, no, it's definitely blood in my opinion, but 4chan is where all the craziness went down. I know, I forgot about that actually, Juror. I think Melissa Jade has done like some coverage of the 4chan posts though and went through them all. Arrived alive. Hey, David. Let me drop Melissa's link. All these cases, except for the couples cases, go so much deeper than we could ever imagine. So twisted and dark. What do you guys think about this? Papa Rodgers got the placement wrong. I mean, I suppose you could say that was intentional, but I'm curious what you guys think. I don't know what the red dot is supposed to be. I guess maybe he enters the first, he's trying to say he enters the front and leaves out the back or something like that. But, or I don't know, maybe leaves the front. Well, remember, God, see, so many things are coming back to me. There was also reports of the front door being open around 8:30 in the morning. I just like to listen and comment when it doesn't make sense. I'm the same. Sometimes I like to listen and not comment at all. Patricia, I personally don't think BK is Papa Rodger. I feel he would not like that name. If BK had an alias, it would be a clever name. That's interesting. Maybe he left Ethan in the living room, but he wasn't dead and somehow managed to get back to the bedroom. Now, I think that's a plausible explanation. That could make sense. I mean, is it that likely? Like you said, you doubt it, but I think it's still plausible, possibly. You know? Jen Lu, doing it intentionally defeats the purpose of taunting law enforcement, though. What do you think, Jen? Do you think this is him? And did you miss? So that Justin kid, remember the kid that he went on a couple YouTube channels and said that, Dylan was trans, and he said that he was trans, and, there was a lot of talk about that stuff. And then about drugs, he basically said he knew people on the investigation and the police were involved, and he had lots of crazy theories. But his last name is Popworth Rodriguez, and a Twitter user has claimed to link through the pictures on Facebook of Papa Rodgers and his pictures that they have the same IP address. I might reach out to that Twitter user, you guys, to see if we can get a little more detail on how they got to that conclusion and maybe evidence of that. I think anyone whose avatar is Papa Rodgers is just strange enough on his own. Mystic Firefly, I think they meant it was like standing wide open. Okay, Margot. Hey, Shar. Hey, Elm. Thank you for being here. It is wild. Sometimes narcissists lie about things just for them to have the feeling that they have something over you, that they know something you don't. Maybe that's why he put them in the wrong place. Sugar Magnolia, good to see you. Aw, love you too, and thank you for being here. I am torn because it could have been just a troll with a real good idea of how he or she would have done this horrible act. Then on the other hand, it could be him. As a narcissist, he would want to have control. Ray Jones, anybody remember the Papa Woody character from In Living Color? I remember that show. I don't remember the character, but I think it was more popular right before my time. He had to get some things wrong so people didn't get the idea it was him. Now, that could be as well. If Papa Rodgers' account was started by a lady in Indiana, we need her source. Nobody imagined what he looked like and made a random pic of BK. Where did that come from, the lady in Indiana? I don't think I've heard that. No, I don't think it was him. Interesting, Jen. Oh my God, now that you're here, I have a question for you. If Bryan Kohberger, okay, the speedy trial, me and you actually worked that out, is, I think we said November. They ask for a date in October. If they ask for a continuance, like say we get to October and they need like 8 weeks and it will go past the speedy trial date for something, waiting on testing or whatever, does that in turn waive his right to a speedy trial, and then the prosecution could push it back as far as they wanted, or not? Because I didn't know if like asking for a continuance even just once would be the same as waiving your right, or can you not waive your right and still ask for a continuance? Meg, I can just picture him watching everything that was going on. Hey, Andrea. Good to see you. What I found most interesting about Papa Rodgers was his write-up about the backyard. Well, let's see if we can find that. We're going to look through some more of his stuff. Ooh, someone showed a screenshot showing Papa Rodgers updated her profile. Don't know if it was legit. Well, after the arrest, there were other people who changed their name to that. I do know that. Hey, Ruckus Rocks. Antonio Anthony. Hey, you guys. Hey, Daniel. Phone data says BK returned to neighborhood around 8:30 or 9 a.m. You're right, Daniel. He did. Forgot about that. Damn. Going by the language, I think it was him. Can we do a poll? Sure we can. Hold on just a sec, because we're going to keep going through some of his posts, but let me pull up a poll. I know at 7, Melissa, Jade, and Shay are doing a live. I'm definitely not going to miss. Gotta go into this live. Oh, sorry. Was okay. It's just, was Bryan Papa Rodger? Yes or no? You guys let me know. That'll be interesting. I hate skipping through a bunch of comments, but I'm gonna wait. Ooh, that's an excellent question. I'm not sure. Let me look it up. Okay, thank you. The right to a speedy trial can always be changed by him. I know that, but I don't know. A person popped up on a channel last week, called himself Papa Rodgers. He was very weird. I saw that actually in Amber's documentary chat the other day. Cray Cray, the state can't ask to extend his speedy trial rights. Hey, Cray Cray. A troll picks a random guy out of thin air. Then the suspect just so happens to look exactly like the unrelated pic of the troll account picked more than a month. See, I don't think they look, to me, they look similar, but I don't think they look exactly alike. There's some differences, but it is weird that they do look very much alike. So, however, I would say that I doubt the defense would ask for a continuance unless it was absolutely necessary, like an illness. Okay. Ava, your question isn't easily answered. The law cannot address the argument until it's made, so it would depend on the technicalities. Wow, interesting. Sunset Gazing says, yep, that picture is wild. When I first saw that, I was taken aback. How long did those accounts have that picture prior to Bryan being named? Well, for a while. I mean, I think they were in the group just pretty much immediately. Let's keep looking. Then he writes, 4 weeks in and no suspects. What is the motive? Is the killer still in Moscow, Idaho right now? How did the killer leave the scene? Did clean up at all? ? If the door was left open or the heat wasn't on, are we sure of the timeline of deaths? It was 28 degrees and overcast the night of the murders. When was, I don't know, Annie, because I think they've removed them all. It's really hard to find stuff from this account. You kind of have to go through other people, like we're doing right now, go through other people's screenshots and stuff like that. Okay, so far we have 57 to 43. Wow. Okay. Don't forget, you guys, vote in that poll. Even if you're just listening, there's a poll in the chat right now. Do you think Bryan was Papa Rodgers? Okay, let's see. I feel like the white cart isn't relevant, he says. Did the killer stop at 4 victims out of exhaustion, convenience, or lack of knowledge? To me, I think I can just picture that Justin kid saying all this stuff. Look at the other things he said. He literally said Chief Fry was about to be arrested and that he implicated him in other cases. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a big fat lawsuit, and he might. Hey, Adrian, a.k.a. Papa Rodgers, Brent Kopacka. A lot of people have said that. Oh, I love you guys, Mrs. and Mr. O. Thank you for being here. Your picture. I saw a video today that was like all the biggest moments from Letitia's trial, and the thumbnail had the judge, and he was like, he was laughing. He looks so cute. I love that judge. I think we all kind of like I don't know, like fell for the judge. Yeah, the date is on these copies we're looking at right now. I know it might be a little bit hard for you guys to see, but if you ask me something in particular, I'll make sure to double check and let you know. The date of the killing was chosen on purpose. We saw that one. Then he says the white car is a red herring. So twice now he said that the white car is, I feel like the white car isn't relevant. The white car is a red herring on December 13th. He shows Google Trends show the search history for the house by date. Lots of Thursday activity. What do we think? I mean, is there more than usual at other times? Not really. Back here in August, there was, like the beginning of the school year when people are looking for a place to live. I know. It made me smile too. I agree. He's an amazing judge. If I was Dylan, I would sue his ass. I would too, Pointer Lover. Oh, thank you, Mystic Firefly. Thank you. Ooh, there is a channel who can trace most online photos to their origin. That's when he got nervous, the white car. They were all before Kib Kitty. All the posts happened before the arrest. Since the arrest, there has been no activity from Papa Rodgers. There was another account, but here he says December 22nd. The killer is not a student. Thoughts? December 12th. What do we think is the height and weight of the killer? December 8th. Why did the killer choose that house over all the others in the area? I mean, he's asking a lot of questions that we all ask. I've personally wondered many times, even before we knew, did the killer go to school there? How old are they? How big are they? Is it a man or a woman? Why did they choose this house? I mean, these are just questions that I feel like, I don't know. Justin is in here. Maybe. If so, maybe he'll give us he'll respond to what I've said, because I'd be curious to know. The white car is relevant. It was seen on ring cams I agree, Daniel. It's definitely relevant. It was seen on ring cams in the neighborhood. BK, when arrested in PA, was wearing surgical gloves and placing items in Ziploc bags. Exactly, Daniel. When people that are like, hey, he's being set up, that's something I wonder. Like, what do you think about the fact that he was arrested? And this is someone from the district attorney's office, like, saying this, that did an interview in Pennsylvania. When he was arrested, he was taking his trash, separating it from his parents, putting it in little Ziploc bags, wearing gloves everywhere all the time. And if you look at the pictures when he was arrested, his hands from the wrist down are bright ass red. No, Linda. I think I said it a couple times too. Maybe you didn't hear me, but no. After the arrest, there were no more posts at all. Alex, did you go back and listen to the victim's parents' interviews along with Friend, comparing their information to the PCA timeline? No, but I'd love to hear about that, your thoughts about it. Marcus. To be fair, Papa Rodger was trying to find the perp, so when the perp was found, there was no need to continue his post. Or maybe he wanted people to think it was him. I mean, let's say it's this Justin kid. Think of all the other wild and crazy things that he's claimed. Not suspicious at all. BK's own sister found it weird that he was wearing gloves around the house. I'm telling you guys, they had to suspect something. Because, like, we know that they were keeping up with true crime and stuff like that because of that post about Uvalde. And then we know there's just multiple reasons I think that they knew. It's the whole world knew. It was all over the news. Just like Gabby Petito, my parents could tell you many details about this case along with Gabby's. They're not into true crime. Some of these cases, I just think they knew. Then they heard they're looking for a white car, even if the year was off. I think that could potentially make the parents feel like maybe it wasn't him, but I don't know. How about Papa Rodger's post? Oh, Chris, I don't think that was Papa Rodger's, was it? I thought that was the one of the what is that website called that you guys were just talking about? 4chan. I thought that was on 4chan. Somebody did say that this person was hiding out in the shithole mountains in PA, which is weird. But somebody who thinks BK is innocent, give me a good reason why he was wearing latex gloves and getting rid of his garbage with his DNA on it. That's a great question. If anybody in the chat thinks he's being set up, framed, he's innocent, I would love to hear an answer to this. I feel like Payne or Fry are more likely suspects of being fake profile than a lady in Indiana. Maybe. I mean, do you think BK drove back to the scene to retrieve his sheath? I do. Serial killer Danny Rolling had to go back and retrieve a wallet. I do think he went, because we know that he went back to the house that morning, maybe even twice, at like 8:30, then at like noon. And I wonder if he did. Maybe he didn't go back in, but certainly he realized, oh shit, where's the sheath? Yep, his sister with the gloves. Something else about a grand jury in PA. Investigative grand jury can investigate numerous cases. He was arrested in PA. Grand jury probably wants to know what his parents knew about Idaho 4. Well, I do know this was an investigative grand jury. Like, that was the whole purpose of it. Ooh, Evil Lives Here, Day Tripper. I love that show. I love some of those ID shows. They're really good. I have learned, though, after like looking into these cases myself really closely, and with the Watts cases where I learned, like, noticed this the most, what we do here on YouTube, we go far deeper into much, like, way more detail. A lot of these TV shows, you know, they do an overview or a summary, but they're not getting all those little details. There's a lot to be left out. It's pretty crazy, because when you start to look at a case like here, or you know, podcast or something like that, and really dig deep, you're like, whoa, they're just the shows, they leave a lot out. They found an animal hair, for crying out loud. Trust they have a treasure of evidence against him. Now, remember, they took all that stuff from his apartment. I found it interesting. They did release the test results, what was tested positive, presumptive for blood, and most of the things did not, except for the mattress cover and pillow. The pillowcase. I think it was the pillowcase and mattress cover. I think the sheath was left on purpose because law enforcement would not prove because of second car. They don't have enough DNA to convict, let alone put him on death penalty. I messed up one time cutting garlic. It burned my fingers. So weird. Tiffany, maybe they do. We just don't know what they have yet. Hopefully they do. I agree. Unravel the inside looking. Okay. I always stand in my kitchen with latex gloves and garbage baggies at 3 a.m. Yeah, totally normal. Nothing weird going on here. Nothing to see here. I mean, also, he was taking, hey, Poets of My Heart, remember, police witnessed him taking his trash and throwing it in the neighbor's cans. So he was not only separating the trash, he was also getting rid of it somewhere else. Hey, Glowbug. The results from the car have to be back by now. Yet they say it, so we'll see. Well, we won't hear about that till trial, I bet. There's not. We may have got some more. If they would have done this preliminary hearing like we thought, those 5 days that they were going to do, you know, we would have gotten quite a lot of evidence. But me too, Day Tripper. I'm the exact same. Ooh, no, I haven't seen that one, Gray. Fear Thy Neighbor. I like that one too. One of my favorites is Deadly Women. Oh, I hope you've had a good holiday too, Poets of My Heart. 20,000 pieces of evidence. Yeah, well, and how many terabytes was it? It was several. Yeah, so anybody who thinks that they don't please be nice to others. Even if you don't agree with them, please be nice to others. I personally don't 100% agree with all the people in here who are friends with me that I love. We don't feel the same about these cases, and that's okay. Thank you, Wuffy. There are people who don't find it weird at all that he was throwing his shit in other people's garbage. On what planet is this normal? 20,000 pieces of evidence may be to bury the exculpatory evidence. Let's hope he was involved. Hate to have this be the wrong guy. Annie, what do you think about him being in his underwear that night and sorting his trash? Was it 51 terabytes? I don't think he's innocent, but I don't think he's Papa Rodger, and I don't think he was the only perp. Now that's interesting, Elm, because I agree with you. I don't think he's innocent, I don't think he's Papa Rodger. But the last one, I do think he's the only one. So I find it interesting you don't, and I'm curious why. Because for a long time I wondered, was there more than one person? But I just feel like there'd be evidence of that by now, especially in his phone records and stuff. Linda, okay, so someone did call into Drunk Turkey, but they didn't give their name. But people did think that it was Papa Rodger. Wasn't it Drunk? No, it was T-Rev. And somewhere else. Sorting the trash doesn't make him a killer. It makes him very strange. Well, I know. I'm not saying of course, you can't convict someone on that by the court standards, but just for conversational purposes between us, what do you guys think about that? I don't know. I see no other reason to why he would do that. Wearing gloves in the store, taking his trash and dumping it at the neighbors. I don't think he has the social aptitude to have an accomplice. Wow, that's interesting. Heidi, my neighbor is always placing his garbage in my bin. And yes, it is weird. He does it late at night. Heidi, I'm sorry. That's funny. And yes, it is weird. Oh, that's true, Glenna. Thank you. So Papa Rodgers posted a graph about a school in Indiana. This is right before the crimes or right before they got involved with the crimes. He posted a graph and he was posting stuff about an elementary school, I believe, in Indiana. So that doesn't make any sense. Oh, Bryan, Paula, have fun out in the garden. I hope enjoy that. I know a lot of people enjoy being out in their gardens like that. And thank you for being here. Turquoise, I don't think we will know the answer to that until the trial. I'm so baffled by all this. I don't know what to think. I told you guys after we looked through this Papa Rodger stuff, your heads would be spinning like mine. Elm says, no way. It was left on purpose. That survey, did he find other nuts to carry out his slaying? I feel Bryan's case is going to be very difficult for the state. Chris says police don't have to tell the actual body placement, but they did tell, some details in the affidavit. It's just Samantha. Girl, I'm so upset with the media, and when the gag order stays and no cameras in the courtroom, they will be to blame. This has gone way past the law of innocence until proven guilty. Just Samantha, I agree. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about here. The Papa Rodger stuff. We have Dateline, a very reputable and well-known show that basically says this was him. I just don't see that. The evidence to me does not lead to that at all. Yeah, he has a damn good defense team. Be prepared. Well, you can tell that they're going to be good just based on the fact the very day he was arrested, the day, or the day that we all heard about it because he was arrested in the middle of the night. But the next day, his attorneys were at the house to film and walk through to do a reconstruction of the scene. I mean, they were on it. Then Papa Rodger says, why do we think the dog was spared? A knife is a very risky weapon if you know you're going to, about the stun gun. He says, what do we think is the entrance point to the crime scene? Why was a knife the weapon of choice? We read those. Okay, let's see what else we can find on this just for a little bit, and then I'll let you guys go. I used the search bar and nothing came up about this, so I wanted to ask, has anyone seen this? This guy's tweeted a lot of information surrounding the case. No. There is the picture that was used for Papa Rodger, which I had talked about this before. It was actually a soldier named Yaisu. I don't even know if that's the correct way to say that. But, yeah. What do you guys think of the Dateline? Not buying any of it. Hold on. I'm trying to look for more of the post, because I kind of just searched his name in the group. Wonder what the poll says now. I'm about to look. But now we're just going to look on Facebook in general. One user said, if Papa Rodger is Bryan in this particular post, he made becomes more interesting. He may be providing a clue. That's the article we just read, you guys. There's a good side-by-side, though, of what Bryan looks like versus Papa Rodger, because, you know, you guys were commenting on how would someone guess and have a picture that looks so much like him. It looks similar to him, but a little bit different. The nose is a little different, but I think party substances may have been used, but I don't think it's the reason the tragedy happened. I agree. Now, I could totally see these kids smoking weed, doing Molly, ecstasy, mushrooms, maybe even acid. Sure. But I cannot see them being linked to the cartel or anything like that. I think that is just ridiculous. The fact that people, our heads are spinning enough with all the misinformation from the media, with all the rumors and shit from social media. It's, yeah, maybe weed. That's all I think. Yeah, alcohol, they were selling drugs. How do you know that, just me? I don't know how you can say that so certainly. Bye, K-Rays. Have a good day. That picture is what always made me lean towards it being him. Oh, that sucks, Delaney. I can't believe that was Canada. That's stupid. I love reading this chat. Hey, Elizabeth. With the evidence we know is the fact I couldn't convict him. BTK's daughter, Carrie, has a very good workable theory on how this whole thing went down. I'm sure that he knows. We talked about this the other day. Does he know that BTK's daughter has been commentating on the crime? I believe he does. I don't believe drugs had anything to do with anything. See, I have thought, is it possible that maybe that could have that could be part of the reason why the cops weren't called immediately? If you're tripping out on something or you have drugs in the house or something like that, that kind of could make sense. But hard drugs, clearly a drug house. I disagree, but I mean, to me, I'm an addict. I've been clean for 7 years in August, but I've been to some pretty bad dope houses, and None of them had beautiful, healthy-looking kids that were about to graduate college. None of them, yeah, it just, no. Just very different from somebody who's seen it in real life for myself and seen this. I just definitely don't agree. That's okay. I like that we can disagree, but I'm just saying, how many people kill their dealers? Marcus. Bryan may be guilty, but when the PCA came out and mentioned the Reddit forum that was his college thesis, I gasped. That forum might have made them think twice, but in my opinion, it should not be used as evidence. Glenna, I don't disagree with you. I don't think it should be used as evidence either, because the teacher has come out and said that was a research paper. It was she said he was one of her best students of all time. We went through that article a while ago, but he drove back and forth on the street behind the house. I think he was planning to go back for the sheath, but the reporter was there. To say there were no drugs going on in that house is delusional, but high-level dealing seems unrealistic. JD, that's where I'm at, too. I can see there being some drugs. They're college kids, and a lot of times kids will experiment or whatever, but that looks very different from, like, hard drugs. And, I mean, you would have drug addicts in and out of the house. You'd have trash everywhere. It would just be very obvious. Summer, yes, they are. Yes, they are. I think people, yeah. Acid, damn. Tiff, I'm just saying, that's like a thing that people will experiment with or whatever. Oh, thank you, Riddler. Appreciate that. Hey, Jay Bird. Yeah, Lola. Thank you, Shay Benet. Well, I mean, I'm in recovery. I do smoke the green, so I don't really call myself completely sober, but I use edibles to sleep, and I don't take any sleeping medications. I don't know. I've just been kind of enjoying this like natural healing journey and using other things too, like ashwagandha, just other things. I find it really interesting. Thank you, Summer. Killing your dealer or your clients are mutually bad for business. I don't believe these kids did anything to invite this evil in. Hey, Jordan. I do think drugs are a good possibility on why it took so long to call 911. Always thought that, but I don't think it had anything to do with the actual crime. I wouldn't go back either, Candace. Not for a second. There is nothing that you could do to make me do that, because that is true misery. Oh, 13 years, Sugar Magnolia. That's incredible. I'm proud of you too. That's awesome. Annie, on the 13th, well, no, I don't think so. I don't know of any report that, no, not that I know of. I don't know of anybody. I know the rumors that there was a text going around that something had happened. I've heard that, but and then I know about everyone standing outside once that they actually did call 911, but I don't know anything about a reporter or how they would know. Oh, I'm sorry, Jordan. I miss you too, and that sucks. I've been struggling myself. A reporter wasn't there at 9 a.m. I think he went for the sheath and lost his nerve. He saw that nothing was happening, though, too. That had to make his head whirl. I know. Can you imagine? Because he probably thought, okay, there's going to be tons of cops or whatever, and then there's nothing. And I would like to know the truth about the front door. Oh, wow, Jordan, that's awesome. 16 years. Callie sober. I've heard that, Shay Benet. That's exactly what a trap house looks like. LOL. No holes in the floor. Excuse me, you guys. 8 years, Glowbug. Wow, that's awesome. I do that too, Riddler. I'm all about the binaural beats. Okay. Yep, maybe. No, thank you. It don't even sound fun to me at all now. It just seems like misery. With all due respect, I disagree with Carrie's working theory. That's okay. Yeah, you can disagree. I don't even know it yet, but oh, Linda says, I saw BK driving up and down. Oh, you're right. Not about the reporter. I don't know about that, but I know the video you're talking about of him on that back road, which what they believe is him, on that back road going back for the knife. I do remember that. I don't know where we could get that like really quickly because I would pull it up if I could. Holy cow, JD. 33 years next month. And look, we got 333 in the chat. That's a sign. 33 years. Congratulations. That is freaking awesome. Annie, yeah. I don't know about the reporter, but I do know the little video that she's talking about. And I'll pull it up if you guys know somewhere to quickly access it. Mind of Monsters, 25 years clean. That is awesome. I smoke tree to keep me sane, calm, and balanced. Tomorrow is never promised. Congratulations, Mind of Monsters. That's awesome. Thank you, Rena. Rena has a great channel. Actually, Wolfie, can you drop it? Because I don't think it's in the Nightbot. Might be. I'll try. But all about, well, some of it has to do with recovery and also about dealing with loss and grief and stuff. It's really good. Okay. Did Chris have? Yes, it was Chris. But did he have like a short video of it? I wonder. I used to take sleeping pills, but now I have a cup of peppermint tea. That's awesome, Tony. I love tea. I have some herbal teas and stuff too. Plunder did a story on it. Okay. I'll just try to YouTube it really fast. I was going to go through and find some more of the posts, but I'd like to take a second look at those inside looking comments. They were quite interesting too. Let's see. Bryan Coburger returning to the scene. Was Bryan Kohberger's car caught on video near the Idaho murders house hours after the stabbings? Here we go. It's only 2 minutes long. We'll do this one.
There's nothing more powerful than you making your thing happen, doing business on your terms.
And I will say that we have found an Elantra.
For weeks,
Jordan,
a white
really?
Hyundai Elantra was the only clue released by police in the University of Idaho quadruple murders case. Now, newly released security video shows what could be suspect Bryan Kohberger's white Elantra driving past the crime scene the day of the stabbings. The video shows what appears to be a white vehicle driving by, slowing down near the King Road home. In an affidavit released last week, investigators say Kohberger's phone pinged in the area.
Wait a minute.
At about 9 o'clock the morning of the murders. Court documents also say multiple security cameras near the murder scene caught video of a similar vehicle driving by the home 9 and 4:20 the morning.
Now, look at this Elantra. I don't think this is his. This is just an Elantra, but they show his in a minute. And let me show you some, because we're going to look at the video going by in the back, and then I want to show you guys the video or the gas station photo. But before we get there, pay attention to this, okay? They have the fog lights. They have like all of them too, because I searched the SE, the Sport. I couldn't find any that didn't have them. Then they have the back window. If you see, it doesn't square off completely. It kind of does, but it's more of like a gradual, there's no point. It's just a slight curve, right? See the window, how it slightly curves, and it comes to one single point and then goes up. And then the tail lights, and that's the part that really stood out for me. And we'll look for these things in the video of the car behind the house. But in the tail lights, you see how it's like wider here, but along the side, it wraps around the side, and it begins to get smaller, and it almost comes to like a little point up here. Not quite, but almost. It's not completely squared off. Some cars are, the taillights will be square just completely. If you look at my mouse, they might come straight down here and wrap all the way around and be like square. The car on the gas station footage is like that. And I do know it's in motion, and you know, some of you guys may disagree, and that is okay too. I'm just saying, I don't believe that's the car at all. The front, but like you're right, the fog lights, the window, the tail lights, it doesn't match. Not only that, it was taken at 3:45 and he was flying, and this was before the crime occurred because the camera heard the thud at 4:17. So, okay. Oh no, what the heck did I do?
New court documents tell us.
And I will say that we have found an Elantra.
For weeks, a white Hyundai Elantra was the
Okay, let's look again. You see the tail lights? They come to that point right there. Uh-oh, there goes my phone. Hold on, you guys. Uh-oh. Oh, no. My mom's gonna kill me. I freaking knocked over a soda. Oh my God. Ugh. Now I'm really annoyed. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, but again, like I said, you can see there the point. In the gas station photo, we're not gonna see that. Dang it. I know y'all probably heard that soda. It was like pouring out. It was so loud to me, the spill. Oh no. Okay. I may have confused Inside Looking's post, with Papa Rodger's. I'll go back and review this. Yeah, let us know. That car looked like a Prius to me. Someone else said that. I remember hearing that. But in the video you're showing now too, not an Elantra. Oh, okay. Well, let's look.
The Idaho quadruple murders case. Now, newly released security video shows what could be suspect Bryan Coburger's white Elantra. Suspect Bryan Coburger's white Elantra. Security video shows what.
Hold on, I'm going to have to slow it all the way down.
Now,
Let me mute it. Huh. Really, Woofy? You don't think it's the same because the back window looks the same. I'm trying to look at the tail light. It's so hard to tell as it's moving like that. I'm going to have to go frame by frame pretty much. I just want to see if we can get a clearer picture. It's so blurry, it's hard to tell. There's the front end. It doesn't actually look the same. You're right. It looks like there's a way bigger like space in the grill. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, I mean, it's really hard to tell. The tail light looks the same though. It kind of like comes to a skinnier point, it looks like. And the back window looks the same as well. Hold on a sec, you guys. Wolfie, this was posted, well, Law and Crime posted this video like 4 months ago, it says. But yeah, it does actually look like the back window, but the grill kind of looks different to me too. The kids just got here to go eat. So you hear Mom and Dad going, "Yay, Bentley!" at the beginning of the trees. Date, Allie. Hold on. Well, this came out after the affidavit. I remember when I'm going to get the exact date, but I remember when the affidavit came out and people knew he went back to the house, people remembered that this video was posted. It just says 4 months ago, January 10th. One more little look at it, and then I'm going to show you guys the gas station footage. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll see when it's at the beginning of the trees, it's out of the frame. It's like way far up. Maybe I should have made it bigger. Okay, back window, the tail light, and getting it. I swear it looks a lot like it in the back window and the tail light. Yeah, the windows are definitely tinted. You guys are right about that. I don't know. I do not know. All about that front bumper. I would bet my house it's not the Elantra. You got some pretty hair, Patricia. According to the PCA, his phone never pinged in Moscow after the murders. Well, after the murders, and you mean after that day? Because he did come back, and I have the affidavit here. I mean, I can grab it really fast, but I did want to show you before we go why I don't think that was his car in the gas station footage either. So let me, because I did a little TikTok and I posted it over here. My channel and the videos right here. Okay. Oh, I better speed it up. Yeah, I'm sure I wasn't her favorite person after this. But I'm not being rude. If I disagree, even with you guys in the chat, I'm not being rude. I love my friends and we disagree all the time on this stuff. It's just being honest with you about my opinion, and with this one, giving you exactly why I feel the way I feel. Let me play it and you guys will hear it and then we'll chat about it.
That allegedly there was a white Hyundai Elantra that was seen. I thought that.
Okay, so many people wondered if this was Bryan Kohberger, and I don't think that it's him, and let me show you why. A gas station clerk took this photo with her phone off the security footage when the police were looking for that white Hyundai Elantra. Many people think that that was Bryan, and I don't think so. If you pay close attention to not only the tail lights, look at the taillights and how they're kind of squared off, but that back window as well. Let me show you what a 2015 Hyundai Elantra looks like. So here is Bryan's car when he was stopped and pulled over by police. And if you can see the tail light on the side, it comes to a point. It's not squared off like that. Again, here's a closer look at that point that the tail light comes to. And then again, this is not Bryan's car. This is just a 2015 Hyundai Elantra, but you see that point. And here I've pointed to that point with this text on the screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And then if you look right above the H, you see the back glass on the back windows. It's similar but different to, let's go back to what the gas station clerk captured. Okay, now see the tail lights on. So to me, that is not his car. Bryan's windows were not tinted. Oh, Jaybird, Alex, you're so sweet. You remind me of my sister who passed by an overdose. She was the most emotionally developed person. Oh, Jaybird, thank you. That is really sweet. And I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that is so sweet. He's like, she knows you? Yes, I know, Jordan. BK got rid of the Vans he wore that night, but law enforcement found a latent print on the floor of his apartment that matched the print they found at the scene. Ooh, was that in one of the reports? Because I missed that. Ooh, black cherry ice cream. You know what I saw today that I looked in the store and I couldn't find it. Dr. Pepper ice cream. Oh my God. It was like a Dr. Pepper float ice cream. So it has Dr. Pepper sherbet mixed with vanilla ice cream. Oh, sounds so good. At least law enforcement can give us pick of gas station cleaned up. Well, this actually came from the employee. She took this photo with her phone of the computer looking through the footage, the security footage. He's in disbelief that this is a thing. True crime community. Yes, we're friends. Like actually, you guys, now that I moved, I have friends in real life, but I only have one friend in the town I live in now in real life. Oh no. Okay. All my friends are online, and it's awesome that way because you can talk as much as you want, video chat, but also if you don't want to, you just put your phone up. You can, if you're not in the mood to human that day. That's a white car, not Elantra. Seems too small to be BK's. Oh, I don't remember if it said. I haven't heard that either, Tiff. I'd love to see that. Yeah, my West Virginia girl. We both had to move away, but it'll always be home, though. All right, let me see. I'm about to let you guys go, but just a sec. Uh-oh. I'm still on there. Hold on just a sec. That's okay. Oh, Woofy, I can't hardly tell in the screenshot. Like, yeah, I mean, I see it, but here, I'll send it over. But it's still... He just called me a hooch. How'd your live go, hooch? Okay. The bumper. There's another claim that it's just a white car. Here is the picture that Woofy screenshot from the video. I mean, it's really hard to see like anything on there at all. That's pretty funny. And then let's look in the affidavit just for a second. Then I'm going to let you guys go. Ow, my knee just popped. To see if they put the shoe size in here, because I don't remember. I feel like I remember like a 13 or something big. And I just happened to be right on that page. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the Idaho State Police forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test and then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print shows a diamond-shaped pattern just outside of Dylan's bedroom. This is consistent with Dylan's statement. So they did not put a size on it. I feel like we've even talked about this possibly before, but there's so much that happens and comes out and goes around. I mean, how do you possibly keep up accurately? I was looking today. Matter of fact, let me show you guys. If you do a search, okay, I'm just going to go to Google. And then I'm going to really, for real, let you guys go. But this was really interesting. So I just did a search for like Idaho 4, I think, on Google. I was looking for images to make a thumbnail. A Google image search. So when I did, you could see all these photos of, I hope it's the same, of like investigators at the crime scene and stuff like that. You see them behind the house. Let me see what comes up when I do it here. Like here we have them there, but remember they were taking stuff off the doors. I mean, if you go back and look, there's a lot of like, you can, you can gather a lot from just looking at the photos and what investigators were doing. There's one photo that I saw today when I was doing the thumbnail of like all these like 3 cops in the back behind the house and pointing off in this direction. Have you guys seen that one? Here they are on the back porch. But it's kind of interesting to go back and look at some of that after it's been so long and think, what can we gather from that? So here is when they were, look at police on the scene. You have, I think, like either a police van or a coroner's van, cops all the way down there, or cars all the way down the road. And the Chief Fry said that, there were a lot of kids, there were a lot of people gathering outside. They wanted to know who was in there and what had happened. Kaylee, whenever he's like, yeah, it'll give you some more beer money. And she smiles. He's like, don't, basically like, what you're doing. She's like, no, I don't know exactly what to do. No, not so sure. But look at all these old photos. Like here, what is this? Student says there needs to be justice. She was right behind the house doing that interview. I find it really interesting to go back and look. Here's a bunch of vehicles at the house, cop cars. Let me just see. We'll just look for another moment or two through some of these old photos. I think that's Ethan's mom. Yeah. Ethan's mom and dad and brother and sister. Because if you guys don't know, I'm sure you know if you're here, but Ethan was a triplet. Here's more of police on the scene. That's kind of what I want to see. So there's that van thing we were looking at. I know I've got a ton of old photos. If you go back through the little folder that I use for my videos, we have looked at and done so much. Because when this was big, remember, I was doing, gathering things from all different social media platforms. Calling to zap you. I'm not muted. I don't know what. I know, Tiffany. They're saying, like, talking to, yeah, there's some awful rumors. I wasn't muted. I'm confused what was going on. Anyways, I'm about to let you guys go. I think we're going to do s'mores here tonight. I'm going to keep looking, though, at these old photos. And if I find anything interesting, I'll post them on the community tab so you guys can see them, too. Oh, my God. Remember, we got the footage from even inside the corner club. It's crazy to think about all the people who were blamed and all the stuff that, all the rumors, even this damn Pappa Rodgers thing. I mean, I don't like it, but what can you do? What would those coolers be for? No indications of forced entry. I wonder why those coolers would be there. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Yeah. And I'll definitely talk to you soon. There's always things happening for us to talk about. Unfortunately, they bag the hens. Corner Club pick brought more questions. Yeah. Could just be for water for the detectives. That's true. Yeah, because I was thinking, what else would it be for? I guess maybe when they take samples of stuff, they will put it in the cooler to preserve it or whatever. Ooh.
Hey everybody, this is a video title. You can find it online and scope it out yourself. Keep watching.
Confusing right now. It says that information.
Ooh. Wolfie found the exact video that car was spotted in. Dang, that's good. I want to show you guys, but I've already said bye and a lot of people have left. Maybe I'll show you anyways and then let you go, people that are left. That's really interesting. So it was posted one day after. I wonder if he was watching that and saw, I've been looking. I knew I had it. That's awesome. Yes, respect to our veterans. Thank you so much. This is a viable consideration. What did It's Marie say? It's spot on, actually, and you know it. You manimal. Love you too, Nay. Thank you for being here, Lawnards. Thank all you guys. Okay, so I did send that video. I was just giving it a second to watch. I want to see it. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, you guys, I cannot get it. I can't get it. So next time we will do it. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Yeah, I cannot get it to go through. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a good rest of your holiday, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for being here, by the way. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to my mods. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.